What's up, guys? It is closing in on 12 o'clock noon today, and I have now completed darn near my entire to-do list for the day in terms of operations, outbound, and I've even handled tomorrow. So I am now on to working on Friday, which is pretty freaking cool. So basically, all I have to do now is send follow-up emails from my cold calling session. So if you don't know, pretty much every time that I sit down for a cold calling session, I tend to make somewhere right around 100 dials. And from those 100 dials, I do make them from in front of my computer at the time, but what I do not do is send follow-up emails right away. And there's a couple of reasons why I do not do that. And the first one is I'm in no hurry to land someone's business, and I make that very clear on the phone. So I'm not going to be in any hurry to send them a follow up email from our phone call. I tend to send an email an hour or 2 hours later. My calling blocks are in 2 hours. So if I just finish, say I finished today, I did 100 calls, but if I only did 50 and I had multiple conversations and multiple emails and everything, which today I only have maybe 10 emails to send, if I were to stop and send those emails right when I have the phone call, opposed to just taking notes as I do and then moving onward, it would take me forever to get through my calling block. And the purpose is to have conversations, open the door, gather an email, and create a further conversation. So I will reference our earlier call, but I will not have a phone call with someone and then send an immediate email to somebody. As much as it may keep you in their mind for the first 30 seconds, or it may solidify you in their mind for the time of the phone call to receiving the email, they tend to remember my name, and I haven't found that it ever makes any difference to whether I land them in the time frame that I was going to in the first place. And that may change. I'm prospecting much larger enterprise accounts. When I prospect smaller accounts, they tend to receive less phone calls anyways. But there's always a differentiator between me, someone who's not looking to press forward all too quickly. I'm in no hurry to land someone's business. I would much rather ease into landing someone's business than I would call them today and land them immediately. That is typically a red flag for me. Now, if they have an immediate need and they tell me we have carriers on board, they drop the ball, we're just needing someone to get this picked up today, they still have to run through all of our credit checks. There's no telling if I can even get them set up today because they're going to have to run through credit checks. Most times, enterprise accounts have contracts, and there's just a lot of processes to run through and go through that I'm not landing someone today. If I was calling small businesses or mid-size companies, small to mid-size, it's entirely possible, but we still have to run the credit checks. We still have to do many things before I can say, let me just get you a truck and get it picked up. You see what I'm saying? So I'm in no hurry to send them that follow-up email because it's not going to start the process of me onboarding them any faster. So what I'm doing is trying to space it out so they heard my voice, they knew who I was on the phone. I'll reference the phone call with exact notes and everything a little bit later on. But the whole purpose is just to simply have a conversation and then to keep the conversation alive and going so that when they do have a need and when the timing lines up, they know to think of me in the first place. And that's the purpose of the cold calls that I make. I don't make cold calls with the intention of earning someone's business. I don't try to cram myself down anyone's throat. Now, people may hear my volume of 100 calls and say, this guy's probably just spam calling his prospects. But that's also not the case. When I add in leads, I also do research on the companies, and I add in the research that I have and talking points that I want to bring up on a cold call or on a phone call with a transportation or logistics manager. So volume does not equate to spam. And I receive a lot of hate about this online when I speak about cold calling and I say an exact number because people believe that 100 calls is a lot of volume. I personally don't. I think it is more than most companies ask for of people, and I think that you could be asked of a lot more from companies. And they don't do it because they have a big time brand that they're trying to keep up in everyone's mind, and they need to hire a certain number of people each year to keep up with state grants and such. I don't have that responsibility currently. Maybe when I do in the future, I will bring those numbers down in order to receive grants from hiring numbers and by adding a certain amount of employment to my county and my city and my state. But as of right now, I don't have those concerns. I don't have those responsibilities. So I am going to ask the most out of myself, which I still don't believe it's the most. I just consider it to be something that I do willingly. It's my company. I could choose not to do it if I want to, and I could just go to the golf course. And some days I do. But on the days when I know that I'm making phone calls, I'm making phone calls. And I use my cold calling block wisely. I schedule off my days according to what I can do and what I should be doing. I'm still running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 loads today. And I still was able to have a 2-hour calling block. It's all about how well you run your operations to free up your day to do more prospecting and cold calling. I don't think it's hard. Take care.